Okay, so I have literally just walked into my house about 10 minutes ago. It's been a bit of a busy day. It has been fun. It has been positive. There has been some negative aspects of it, but I will say quite clearly now, those negative aspects did not come from the Democratic Football Lads Alliance March. Now, while I was sitting on the train, I have come across, and I had predicted that we would get all the headlines, far right, violence, blah, blah, blah. We knew this was coming, and I've just read the Evening Standard article. I don't know if you can see it, but I have just read it. Now, they have been very, very careful in what they said, because they are obviously aware of what actually happened, but they will be trying to spin it so that our side of the argument, that they are terming far right, the mainstream are going to turn it to make us look like the bad guys. We are not the bad guys. We are the people speaking up for this country. We are the forgotten majority, just trying to bring people's awareness to the curtailment of our freedoms, to the hate speech laws, how they're controlling us, how they're stopping us speaking out against things that go against everything that we as British citizens stand for. They're out to shut us up. And unfortunately, we did have some scenes today that, well, we've created their headlines for them. So you'll have seen some of my Facebook live streams that I did while I was there. Very limited on battery, so they're very, very short. But I did try and kind of keep guys up to date with what was going on. So here's the facts about what happened. Am I going to put the blame on anybody? Yes. And the blame has to be at the feet of Antifa, Stand Up to Racism. I am going to call out the Unite Union here, because I know that they funded coaches to get people into London to counter-protest the DFLA March that was planned and organised. So here's what occurred, guys. We had a march route. That march route was agreed with the police. The police knew that there would be a counter-protest. The counter-protests were asked to stay in Westminster. Somehow, I'm not going to put any tinfoil hats on here, I'm not going to put any conspiracy on it, but somehow Antifa blocked our route. They were there ready to meet us. And of course, the police stopped us marching. They held us. They held us back. They stopped us from what was a peaceful march. Now, I spoke to ITV News. ITV News desk did not put the call out to get a cameraman to Whitehall until around 3 o'clock. That was about the time when Antifa stopped the march. So you can see that the mainstream was not interested in the peaceful demonstration. They were not interested in what was happening up until that point. So anyway, Antifa were there to meet and greet us with all their smiley faces, if you could see them behind their balaclavas. You can tell them from us. We show our faces. We are proud of what we're trying to say, and we are saying it loud, proud and peaceful. So Antifa were there to meet us. The police stopped the march. You can't tell some guys when they've come up to London, when they've come from West Midlands, when they've come from Scotland, when they've come from Sunderland, when they've come from all over the country into their capital city to march against terrorism, against grooming gangs, against the literalist Islamic things that are being said and done in our country, against the hate speech laws. You cannot stop these guys marching. They've been silent for years. So, of course, we wanted to march. And the police lost control of us, and we continued to march. We continued to march. It was a little bit boisterous. Eventually, they managed to hold half of the march back, and they let the other half continue. That caused disruption. There was half of us up at Trafalgar Square. There was the other half down at Whitehall at the stage. And that's all that happened, guys. There are a few people that got a little bit unhappy with the situation, pushing and shoving. But as the Evening Standard report says, there was only one arrest. Now, we don't know who that arrest was. We don't know why. But all in all, this was nothing more than a peaceful demonstration standing up for the British public, standing up for change, standing up for freedom. Don't believe the mainstream. Keep going, guys. We will get our voices heard, and we will make this country what it needs to be for our grandchildren. Stick with it and stay calm. We are winning.